Hi friends, this is Gail O'Neill, and I teach stamping. I hope you enjoy. So we're playing with Crumb Cake and pigment ink, white pigment ink, one of our new story label punch, which was used on that, and the Stamparatus. And let me just put a new sheet in there. Nah, we'll stay with the old one. It's fine. So I'm using the Stamparatus for the first card. And of course, Crumb Cake. So let's make sure. No, we've got to redo that. Okay, so wherever you decide to put your piece of cardstock, so then you want to set it where you want it. Okay, so I'm going to first start with the white. Now, one of the things with the white is first you also got to clean it, but it stays wet for a very long time. So we're going to be using the heat gun a few times. So there will be some noise, but an advantage of using the Stamparatus is you can get it darker. So we're going to see how that looks, and I'm going to go one more time. Then I'm going to clean the stamp and show you how we do the other color. We want that to stay exactly where it is. Well, actually, I'm going to move it just a hair. So we're going to clean that off. And that's just to try to get it as clean as you can before you stick your other color ink on it. And we're going to dry that a little bit. Okay, so then what we do is move it just a hair. And we're going to ink that up with Blueberry Bushel and pray. Okay. Did y'all say a prayer? Okay, I'm ready. And there it is. So I am going to dry that again. And let me use the crummy rag because that will pick up some more of the white. And I'm going to move that out of the way somewhere. And I forgot to get this piece ready. You would think I had all day. Okay. And the punch. So I'm going to take white and just a note. And again in the Blueberry Bushel. And then I'm just going to take an edge of a sponge Ooh, my paint is not good today. Okay. So this I just put down on the one piece. So let's go ahead and do it. No, I'm going to do it right on here. And my problem is I can never do that straight. All right, and then I'm going to trim it off. And then this can go on. And this was the easy card. Actually, they're all pretty easy. My motto. And then I just mounted that on a white card. So all my measurements are my norm, 5 by 3 1/4. And I'm not gonna, I don't need my mouse. Okay, so there's card number 1. And this one I had a little bit more space, and this is how it looks in a different color. So you can do it in all kinds of colors. Okay, that was number 1. I think I'll do this one. Okay, so for this one, took these horsies, the trees, whoops, wrong one. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this. And I didn't do anything major fancy with this one. I mean, you could sponge in some more background if you wanted to. Okay, so we'll close that. We're going to heat this up again. And clean this off. And I'm going to pull this over here because I'm going to have to clean it several times. So then I just guesstimated. And that's all you do with this, is kind of guesstimate. You want to be kind of off. And you should, and I didn't just then, but clean it each time. Where am I? Okay, and then I'm going to stamp off a few times and make that very light, because those trees are in the distance. I'm just going to stamp them right there. And then what I did for this is I used the blends. Didn't do any shading, just threw some color into them. I'm thinking that might be a little easier. So nothing special whatsoever, and then just threw a little so you can still use your blends on Crumb Cake and on some other darker colors. And then not a little note, happy birthday, because this is going to be a man's card. Looks a little gunky. Now it looks not inked. And then I just threw that in at an angle. Okay, so that was dye ink and pigment ink together. What do you think? Okay, so then, now for this one, I'm going to do most of the card. But if I did the whole card, it would really take a while. So I'm going to do part of it. And I'm using sheet music as a background. And I just lay that down flat. And I'm going to ink that up with Crumb Cake. And I don't even mount any of my background stamps anymore. I use them straight like this, ink them up, and then just put scrap paper over it. So there's our sheet music. Now we're going to take this stamp, and this is from Flourishing Phrases, and we used that one before. And the mess begins. Okay, so we're going to ink that up real well. So I'm going to put one about there. And it looks pretty just like this. So this is a technique all by itself, but we're going to go a little further. So again, we're going to heat that up to dry it. And then I'm going to come in with some colored pencils. And I'm going to lightly, and this one is Bermuda Bay. So we're going to lightly scribble on all these petals. And that's why I'm not going to do the complete card. I'll do one flower and then show you what the card looks like. Because it would take way too long. And I know we all have to watch The Walking Dead, and I have to go take something stronger than Advil. And maybe miss The Walking Dead, I don't know. Okay, so then I took a blender pen. That's not the blender pen. And I blended. You want to wipe in between. A little bit. So we're just smoothing out all that color. Now you can also blend two colors if you want to, but I'm going to show you the original one. I did blend two colors, and then I decided to try something else, and I loved it. So I decided to just do the one color. Almost there. Okay, so then I took yellow and did the inside of the flower. Okay, so then how many times do you really use your fine point of your marker? So I took Pacific Point and I began to flick. Kind of like there's eyelashes. So here we are making some eyelashes on every petal. Do you see how that's starting to look? We were supposed to get heavy winds today, and I was even wondering if I'd be able to go on, because we always lose electricity here. All right, just a few more, and then I'll show you what the finished card looks like. I think I got them. Okay, and then one other thing you can do is you can take, this is a white, it's kind of like what we used to sell, but just a different company. And you can intensify some of the white if you choose to. So you get a few. You can also, you know, put some dots in different places, which I didn't do on the original card because I just thought of it now. But now I'll show you what that ends up looking like. And there it is. So I didn't do the whole thing with the white. I just threw in a couple. But I like those little white dots, so I'm probably going to add them. But that is the finished card. So, and it doesn't take all that long, and it's fun. Something different. Okay, so now let me get rid of all this. And I have one more. I'm not going to show you the finished card. So again, here we are. And I need this and this. Don't you love when you put a stamp down and it sticks? Here it comes. Ta-da! Okay, so we're using the balloon, and we're also going to be using this little piggy, but the balloon is from Balloon Celebration. And I'm going to take that, take this, take that. You want to make sure you got good coverage on it. So you're going to stamp. So we've got 3 balloons. So let me dry them and show you where we're going with this. Okay, so now we're going to clean this off good. And I'm going to start out with Highland Heather. Let's see, I need a tissue or something. Okay, so I'm going to take and rub off up in that corner some of that ink, and then line it up. And pardon if my head gets in the way. So you're getting partial. And then I'm going to do almost did the green, and I really want pool party. I'm going to do the same thing with the pool party. And then Blushing Bride. Okay, and then we're going to take the little pig, and I am going to mask off part of him, just the flower. And you know how many times I've masked something off and then, without thinking, just stamp it without taking the mask off. So at least this will be nice and big and I won't forget. And then I need the black marker in a moment. Okay, so we're going to quickly color the pig. And it doesn't look like much now, but it does dry a little bit brighter. Just kind of shocked me. I could throw the heat gun on it and show you immediately. But you can see it starting, I think you can see it starting to turn already, getting a little bit more pink. And then I did his nose in the darker and a little bit of his tail. And then a little bit of light black. 3. Okay, and then I kind of just did a, this is where the artist isn't in me. And then I took the same happy birthday that I used before. and stamped it. I don't like the way that happy looks. And stamped it right across those balloons. So this I kind of blended a little bit of Crumb Cake and the green. Okay, and I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you this other one that I did. So in the background, I stamped with the white. I put some white into these leaves, and all of this was just colored with the pencils. So I just, blended a couple greens together, but came out good. And then there's one more that I don't even know where I put it, but I'm going to be doing a separate video, and I'll put it directly on YouTube because that had some embossing and some other things on it. So let me bring these back. What am I missing? This one. Missing that one. So here are some techniques that you can do with white pigment ink and Crumb Cake. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I will see you on Wednesday, and hopefully not as much pain as I'm in tonight. So good night all. See you then.